Just us. Just us.
Steph Curry returned after a lengthy illness, so expectations were pretty high that the Golden State Warriors could perhaps pull off an upset against the reigning champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and begin a long road trip on a positive note. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case because they got mollywopped.
It did not happen. We lost 126 to 102. It was the front end of a back-to-back. The Oklahoma City Thunder, not only are they the reigning champs, but they are the number one seed in the Western Conference right now.
With the number one defense.
Yes.
And it kind of showed at times. They didn't seem undefeatable. For the first quarter, the Warriors were keeping up, and at one point even had a couple points leading them. The issue was they just weren't making shots. They weren't making threes. Even Steph Curry, the three master, wasn't making threes. In fact, he went the complete opposite way and got 5 fouls, and his first ever flagrant of his career.
Yeah, it was, I had hope in the first quarter.
Yeah.
That it was going to be competitive, that the Warriors were going to stay in it with, matching the Oklahoma City Thunder's offensive game. But the first quarter came to a screeching stop with a few errors, unforced errors.
Turnovers. We love them turnovers.
Yes, too many turnovers. But
started with Steph.
Yeah, one of them was the flagrant that Steph committed at the end of the quarter, as Tam mentioned, his first flagrant foul of his career. And one of the reasons they implemented this type of flagrant foul is because of Steph
People
Curry.
were doing it to him.
Yeah, so the flagrant basically, and flagrant is an excessive foul.
Yeah.
In this case, it means that as a player is going up for a three-pointer, the defender, instead of going straight up and down in his defense, hops from point A to B, where his leg lands in the shooter's landing space.
Potentially leading to injury.
Exactly. And this is how Steph Curry has twisted his ankle and injured his ankle multiple times in the past, which is why this is now known as a flagrant foul. It gives the shooter then 2 automatic free throws and possession of the ball. So I forget who the player was that took the shot from OKC, but he landed on Steph's foot. And so they reviewed the play and deemed it a flagrant foul.
He landed on Steph's foot?
Yeah.
Dang.
He didn't injure himself.
No, he
I hope Steph's foot is okay.
Yeah, I hope Steph's foot is okay is what I was thinking about. The kind of officiating, I don't think it was bad, but very inconsistent, I felt. It's pretty typical and pretty... I don't want to be one of those people who's like, oh, the refs were terrible. They weren't terrible, but they weren't helping the Warriors in any way in terms of being fair, and they were definitely helping OKC. You couldn't touch an OKC player without getting a whistle. And stuff that Steph was being hit with on one side of the court and not getting a foul for, OKC was definitely getting on the other side. So everything was going against them. Ultimately, though, it was the players' fault. They had very little energy. They didn't seem like they wanted it. They didn't seem like they came out to try and prove something. It just felt like they came in and thought, these are the champions, we're going to lose. And it showed in the way they moved, the body language. Even from veterans, there was some bizarre passing from Steph. He did one behind the back pass, which was completely unnecessary. It was like a full court across one side to the other pass towards QP, and QP was like, what the hell was that? And then Jimmy did the thing where he would run directly into traffic, pull everyone towards him, jump in the air, and then just throw the ball outwards to see if someone could grab it. And there was a few times where he got himself into a position where there was no one else for him to pass to. He had too many people around him. Bit of a silly move on his part multiple times. And then Pods wasn't making threes. Kuminga was turning the ball over.
Yeah, the whole team wasn't able to shoot very well, and I think that showed in the score at halftime. The Warriors were down 63 to 44. 44 is the lowest amount of points we've scored in the first half this entire season.
Yeah.
So not only were we not able to score, but OKC had really high defensive intensity.
Yeah, I mean, they had very high defensive intensity in the first quarter and then most of the second quarter, and they pushed out a lead so big that they could relax, and
It
that's
ballooned
exactly.
to a 36-point lead
Yeah,
in the second half.
at one point SGA just sat on the bench for an extended period of time.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't watch SGA consistently,
He's
what's
he
it
plays
called?
like the wavy tube man.
What did Dorsberg call him? Oh, the free throw merchant.
Yeah, he looks like the wavy tube man, where he's constantly like flopping
Flailing.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he does it in a way where it's like 50-50. He's gonna flop. If you're near him, he will make an exaggerated motion.
And it's kind of a joke now. Like
Yeah.
even commentators, they're all laughing that they accidentally fouled him, right?
The Warriors broadcast started with one of the commentators saying that the other commentator accidentally fouled at SGA and he went to the free throw line. But it's just like that tactic is like run in, even if you're playing perfectly clean, if someone's near you and you get any sort of like incidental contact, whatever it may be, just flop or sell it. Either you get it or you don't. And most of the time he gets it. If he doesn't, he's still in a position to score.
Exactly.
And it is incredibly frustrating to watch.
There's a lot of contact in the NBA, almost on every single play. And I think the officials can do and should do a better job of figuring out what's incidental and what is illegal. I think when it comes to SGA, even incidental contact gets him free throws.
Yeah.
Which is it's not officiated the same way for players like Steph Curry. And that's where Draymond, he actually got a technical in the second quarter because he fouled a player and it shouldn't have been called a foul because it wasn't called on the other end in the same way.
Yeah, the
There's
exact
no
same way.
consistency.
Yeah, and they showed the replay of Draymond's foul and it was 100% all ball.
Yeah.
Like it was a textbook block where he tracked the ball, hand on the ball, and then pulled the ball down and was given a foul. And it made no sense. Even the commentators who usually play good cop, bad cop, with Fitz being like, that wasn't a foul, and Kalena being like, that was a foul. Kalena was like, that wasn't a foul. I'm with Draymond on that one.
Yep.
And Fitz was just like, that was no foul. But the kind of like incensing thing about it was like a copy paste of what happened on the other side, and the Warriors didn't get the whistle for it. Again, the reason they lost was more than just not getting good whistles and not being officiated in the same way, but it's definitely a contributor to it. It was probably low on the list of reasons why it didn't happen, but why they lost, but it didn't help build momentum when, it's very rare for Steph Curry to be anywhere near the danger zone for fouling out of a game. And when that is happening, something is very weird is going on. Either Steph is playing like a rookie, which he wasn't, or something weird is going on. He also, like we said, got the first flagrant of his career, which is like, this guy's been in the league for how many years now? 18 years, something like that. And this is his first time in all that time getting a flagrant. Just a bit weird.
I think what's interesting is, we've talked about turnovers afflicting the team. The Warriors had 20 turnovers this game, but OKC also ended the game with 19 turnovers, and that's very uncharacteristic of them. They take care of the ball. So we were forcing turnovers, but the point differential was just too large for us to overcome.
Yeah.
So I think there were some bright spots, right? When the other team piles up turnovers, it means that you're defending as hard as you can. You're getting those deflections. You're forcing, points off of turnovers, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah. I think the big, holes I see in their play is, the dribbling, the ball handling's not good from a bunch of players, especially the younger ones. Like, they can handle the ball, they can dribble, but the moment they face any sort of pressure from an opposing player, they start to crack immediately. Kuminga especially. He's great at moving at speed, but if the player he's going up against doesn't react in the exact way he wants, he falls apart. Like, he will do like a fake towards moving one way, and if that player doesn't move, the next thing he'll do is run directly into them, lose the ball, and then be on the ground complaining. And it's just like, that's not great. QP does a similar thing where he gets himself into situations where he doesn't have a lot of room to move. He's a big guy, and he doesn't exactly have finesse in his dribbling. He's not like Steph where he can move the ball through a bunch of plays, thread it, get through to clear space, and then try and take a shot. QP just loses it immediately.
Yeah, but it's interesting to note that QP did get the start.
Mm-hmm.
He replaced Pods in the starting lineup, and Steve Kerr has said that he's going to go to that lineup more, the one that was used today.
I don't know if I'm with him on that. I think it probably is worth trying a couple more times. Moody should be Moody played very well. I think he tried his best.
Moody actually was, I think,
His
for
defensive,
me, the player of the game.
Yeah.
His defense on SGA and his effort on defense. Some of his offensive plays were also clutch, but he was really the only one. Him and then Will Richard were, I think, the two in my mind that stood out as high energy players. Will didn't get as many minutes, but he did at the end. So basically, the third quarter, we lost the third quarter pretty badly. In the fourth quarter, Steve Kerr made the strategic decision to not play the starters because there's a game tomorrow night versus the Spurs on the road. So garbage time started really early. All the bench players got an opportunity to play for the entirety of the fourth quarter. So we saw more of Will Richard play during that time, him, Pat Spencer,
Guy
Guy Santos, right? So they actually cut down the lead pretty significantly. But again, OKC kind of ran away with it at the end.
Yeah. Again, it's like one of those situations where if the momentum hadn't been completely killed in the lead up to there, as the bench players were starting to kind of cut that lead down, there would have been a situation where it looked like they could pull it back, but there was just no motivation there. By that point, they had been through three quarters of getting their belt to ass, and now they were just like out of it. It's a very, very unfortunate start, but beyond that, it's a pretty. It's a new chapter, another chapter in the ongoing tailspin that the Warriors have been going through. They've now lost 6 in a row. This is their first loss of the road trip.
6 in a row on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so we're 1-6 on the road this
Yes.
season. So very poor performance when we're traveling.
And now we're going up against the San Antonio Spurs, who Wembanyama has been terrorizing every other team for a while now. They also have De'Aaron Fox as well, former Sacramento superstar. On a back-to-back, it's going to be tricky. I'm not confident. I don't feel good about this team currently. I think they'll eventually find their groove, but they are very, very not enjoyable to watch right now. If there was, I think it would be at least something if you could go in there thinking there's a chance we could win this. I think their play has been so not great that I don't even think there's a chance right now.
It hasn't been consistent, right?
No.
Because I think we had, there were some bright spots in the first quarter, but then it just went downhill from there.
At the very least, if Steph was hitting his shots, then you could be like, oh, we've got something. But Steph is not hitting his shots, and it's understandable. He was sick for a week. This is his first game back. He had like 2 practice sessions. I can't remember who tweeted about it. I think it was Dalton Johnson or whoever it may be. A Warriors reporter said halfway through the first quarter, he looked gassed.
He did. He looked pale as well from my perspective.
And there's no way his like cardiovascular kind of fitness and his respiratory system bounces back as quick as his mind and the rest of his muscles. So maybe, not playing the fourth quarter will work out in our benefit, and he will be on one tomorrow. I've seen nothing up until this point that indicates they have the ability to suddenly pull a win out of a bag, because they just as a team haven't coalesced, and they don't look like they're capable of beating anything except trash teams currently.
Yeah.
And even then they'll struggle.
The Spurs, the team we're playing tomorrow, they are the number 2 team in the Western Conference.
Correct.
So we'll see what happens. In other news, the Warriors dropped their town collection today.
Mm-hmm.
They reimagined the town jerseys and merch in a new colorway.
Brown.
It's brown, cream, and gold. Check out our TikTok. We have a video of what all of that looks like from the team store, but check it out.
Shout out to Brian.
Yeah, thanks, Brian, for capturing the video. You must have gone early.
Oh yeah,
the store is pretty empty at the time of his recording the videos and pictures. So we were able to use that, and we're actually going to an event next weekend to celebrate the launch of the town jersey and collection. So we'll be in Oakland next
We'll be there. If you're there,
weekend.
give us a shout. We will be wearing the T-shirt with our podcast logo on it.
Yeah, thanks for getting those printed.
Yeah, we've got business cards. We might be even doing interviews. So if you're a fan and you're there, let us know.
Find us.
Find us. Look for the people with microphones in their hands.
Yeah.
And maybe we can have a quick chat.
So we'll see you next weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow for another jump shot after the game. Just us on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Stop
Just
sucking.
us. Okay.